Deep in the 100,000 years of the last ice age, mankind traveled the great oceans of the world, navigating by the stars. He mastered the great cycles of the heavens, the solar day, the ever-changing seasons of the solar year, and he came to know even very long cycles, such as the 25,000-year precession of the equinox and the apparent movement of the sun against the backdrop of the 12 great constellations of the zodiac. Near the end of the last ice age, when the melting ice caused the sea to rise by 400 feet, man began to settle inland up the course of great rivers. Accounts given by Plato and others tell us that out of this process arose the great civilization of Egypt, which built the pyramids to observe the stars. Egypt, in turn, sponsored the rise of the classical Greece of Homer, Aeschylus, the Pythagoreans, Socrates, and Plato. These men and their associates produced the most powerful art and science the world had yet seen. For the first time in history, the systematic notion of ideas, of the development of ideas, and therefore of the creative processes of the human mind itself, took center stage. But tragically, within that humanist culture were sown the seeds of its eventual destruction. Diodorus Siculus tells the story of another settlement of these astrogators, these people of the sea as they were known. They established a colony which had a ruler with several sons by a concubine named Olympia. The eldest, Zeus, led the Olympians, as they were known, in revolt, and established a tyranny throughout the maritime settlements of most of the Mediterranean. The Olympians portrayed themselves as gods, as an imperial oligarchy destined to rule forever over a subservient, enslaved mankind. The great playwright Aeschylus depicted the nature of this fight best in his Prometheus trilogy. He wrote this drama to expose their evil. Evil because the Olympian oligarchy suppressed the natural creative powers of mankind and their power to do good. Evil has no self-evident existence. Only the good exists as a positive universal force. Evil is merely the attempt to negate this good, to suppress and restrain the natural course of upward human progress. At times, this force of evil can succeed in shackling the good even for very long periods of time, and can spread terrifying destruction for the whole of mankind as a result. But it itself is also destroyed, self-consumed, driven to destruction by a bitter hatred for natural human goodness. Thus, determined to end this imperial hell, Aeschylus, the great fighter of the Persian Empire, with his Prometheus, declared that man's true mission was to free himself from this oligarchy, for he knew that man was made in the image of the Creator, and that man's purpose in life was to assist in the process of creation. Prometheus understood and committed himself to defend that.
But hearken to the miseries that beset mankind, how that they were witless erst, and I made them to have sense and be endowed with reason. Nor will I speak to upbraid mankind, but to set forth the friendly purpose that inspired my boons. First of all, though they had eyes to see, they saw to no avail. They had ears, but understood not. But, like to shapes in dreams, throughout their length of days, without purpose, they wrought all things in confusion. Knowledge had they neither of houses built of bricks and turned to face the sun, nor yet of work in wood, but dwelt beneath the ground like swarming ants in sunless caves. They had no sign either of winter, or of flowery spring, or of fruitful summer, whereon they could depend, but in everything they wrought without judgment, until such time as I taught them to discern the rising of the stars and their settings. ere this ill distinguishable. Aye, and numbers too, chiefest of sciences, I invented for them, and the combining of letters, creative mother of the muses' art, wherewith to hold all things in memory. I too first brought brute beasts beneath the yoke to be subject to the collar and the pack saddle, that they might bear in men's stead their heaviest burdens. And to the chariot I harnessed horses, and made them obedient to the rein, to be an adornment of wealth and luxury. 'Twas I, and no one else, that contrived the mariner's flaxen-winged car to roam the sea. Wretched that I am, such are the inventions I devised for mankind, yet have myself no cunning wherewith to rid me of my present suffering. Hear the sum of the whole matter in the compass of one brief word. Every art possessed by man comes from Prometheus.
Zeus and the Olympian gods were enraged by the action taken by Prometheus, and so condemned him to an eternal torment. All empires like Babylon, Persia, the rule of the Greeks under the Delphic temple of Apollo, Rome, Venice, and then the British, are all based on this Olympian model. Empires have preyed upon different peoples, but always operate on the same principle. Yet, empires cannot stop one like Prometheus, for his mission was to free mankind, to give him science. By this, man knew it was his mind that made him superior to the animals. But to express such compassion towards man had its known risk. As the cruelty of Zeus demonstrated, the oligarchical forces depended upon an unchanging state of man as a beast.